What's up guys, it's Tommy here and it looks like Liverpool are in very advanced talks to sign Hugo Ekitike. We could have the "here we go, welcome to Liverpool Hugo Ekitike" announcement very soon because Liverpool are moving really fast in this transfer window, and we will also update you guys on the Alexander Isak to Liverpool transfer story, and there are some new developments in the Rodrigo to Liverpool transfer story as well. So lots to unpack in this video, but first I want to dedicate this video to the memory of Diogo Jota, forever Liverpool's number 20, and may he rest in peace. And Fabrizio reported that Liverpool are advancing today in club-to-club talks with Eintracht Frankfurt for Hugo Ekitike, and at the same time it looks like Newcastle have cooled their interest. And this is a very smart, big boy play by Liverpool, that we said to Newcastle, either you give us Alexander Isak, either you negotiate with us, or we are gonna take Hugo Ekitike. And while Newcastle are actually thinking about it and stalling, they wanted to move quickly with the Hugo Ekitike deal, but Liverpool said, hang on, we might need two strikers. Darwin Núñez might get sold to Saudi Arabia or to a European club, so Liverpool are signing Hugo Ekitike quickly, and we will wait because we have still 1.5 months to get the Alexander Isak deal done with Newcastle. Of course, Isak deal depends on the final decision by Newcastle, according to Fabrizio, and they insist on a not for sale stance. But Liverpool, while they wait for Alexander Isak to maybe rock the boat and ask Newcastle for a transfer, Liverpool are progressing on both the club side and the player side with Hugo Ekitike, and Liverpool already agreed a 6-year deal, a 6-year contract with Hugo Ekitike. So the personal terms are already dusted and done and agreed with Hugo Ekitike, and this looks like, because this gets done very quickly, that Hugo Ekitike's number one choice was always Liverpool, and Liverpool always were in contact with Hugo Ekitike. We have been scouting him for years, and he was always at least number 2 on the list. I already said to you guys that Alexander Isak is number 1, and maybe alongside him Julian Alvarez, but I don't think he's gettable. And Hugo Ekitike was always 2nd or 3rd choice on Liverpool's striker list. So that's why personal terms were so quickly agreed, even though Tottenham, Man United, Chelsea, Newcastle all wanted to sign Hugo Ekitike. He rejected all of those clubs and he always wanted Liverpool. So guys, if you are excited about this, make sure to leave a like on this video and let me know what do you think about this crazy transfer saga around Alexander Isak and Hugo Ekitike, because it has me buzzing reading the latest news almost every hour. Liverpool, of course, are in talks with Eintracht Frankfurt for Hugo Ekitike. We just need to agree a deal with Frankfurt, and David Ornstein has reported this, and the latest is that Newcastle tried to secure Ekitike for around 75 million euros, which is 65 million pounds. But Liverpool said to Frankfurt, whatever Newcastle are paying, we can pay more. And of course, Ekitike's personal choice is always Liverpool. He will always choose Liverpool ahead of Newcastle. And now Frankfurt have received Liverpool's approach, and it looks like that will be more than the 75 million euros. So that's my only worry with Ekitike. Is he worth 70 million pounds? Because that's the least amount of money that Liverpool will pay for Ekitike. But Liverpool have more than enough money to sign him, but he needs to work. After Liverpool took a risk on Darwin Núñez and that didn't work out, and a lot of people are comparing Darwin Núñez with Ekitike, and they have similar stats, but what Ekitike has that Darwin Núñez doesn't have is football intelligence, and outside of the box Ekitike is a much better distributor of the ball. He makes much better decisions, and I think he's also a more clinical finisher than Darwin Núñez. The Darwin Núñez experiment didn't work out, so there will be massive pressure on Ekitike, but he scored 22 goals and also got 12 assists in all competitions for Frankfurt last season. That's 34 goal contributions. 34 goal contributions for Frankfurt, and 12 of those being assists shows that he can't just score goals, he can also distribute the ball, and he has very good game intelligence, much better than Darwin Núñez. And Ekitike is exactly the kind of profile that Liverpool are looking for. And the latest news, which was revealed like 1 hour ago, is that Liverpool are advancing in talks with Frankfurt over the transfer of Hugo Ekitike. David Ornstein is reporting that Liverpool proposed a package of more than 80 million euros, which is more than 70 million pounds, and personal terms are already agreed with Ekitike. So yeah, that's what I suspected, that Liverpool have to offer more than 80 million euros for Ekitike. And now that Newcastle cooled their interest in Ekitike, Liverpool have a free run towards Ekitike, and Newcastle aren't gonna rival Liverpool in that. And Liverpool just basically bodied Newcastle out of the way to sign Hugo Ekitike, and now it's up to Alexander Isak. Does he want to stay at Newcastle and just play in the Champions League, play in the Premier League without having a real chance of winning it? Or does he actually want to win these competitions? And I think Liverpool wouldn't have made this approach towards Alexander Isak unless they got some encouragement from Isak's camp that they would like to play for Liverpool. But the big problem is, does Alexander Isak want to hand in a transfer request and destroy his legacy and his relationship with Newcastle fans? I will be honest, I would do it if I was Alexander Isak, because a footballer's career is very short. He has another like maybe 5, 6, 7 years at the top of European football to win these major competitions, and so far he only won the League Cup with Newcastle. I think it's better if he hands in a transfer request, goes to Liverpool, and he could win already the Champions League, the Premier League next season with Liverpool. If he stays at Newcastle for another 2 or 3 years, he might not win another major trophy at Newcastle. And yes, the fans adore him, they idolize him, but the Liverpool fans would adore and idolize Alexander Isak as well. Florian Plettenberg recently also reported that Liverpool have verbally indicated to Frankfurt that they are ready to bid for Ekitike, and now, according to David Ornstein, Liverpool already submitted a bid worth more than 80 million euros. And this moves fast, because this morning there was no written offer by Liverpool, and now this afternoon already the reports are coming in that Liverpool have submitted a written offer to Frankfurt. And Newcastle could not progress in negotiations with Frankfurt yesterday, not just because Frankfurt feel that Ekitike would like to join Liverpool, but also they didn't really want to pay more than the 75 million euros that they already bid. And now it looks like Newcastle are turning their attention to Johan Wissa from Brentford. David Ornstein is reporting that Brentford didn't receive an official bid yet, but that is expected soon, and personal terms also need to be agreed with Johan Wissa. Availability and the price may depend on Bryan Mbeumo. He still hasn't gone to Manchester United, but now it looks like Newcastle have totally cooled their interest in Ekitike, and it looks like they will turn their attention for Johan Wissa. Nottingham Forest also recently bid for Wissa, but that has been rejected by Brentford. And David Ornstein is reporting that Newcastle are not working actively now on the Ekitike deal. They are moving on to other targets, and Johan Wissa could be another target. And he scored, I think, around 20 goals for Brentford in all competitions. But of course, Brentford don't really want to lose both Mbeumo and Wissa in one transfer window. And just a word on Liverpool, that you can't really fault Liverpool. Ekitike was probably always Liverpool's number 2 target behind Isak, but maybe when it comes to realistic transfer targets, he would be number 1, because Isak, I'm not sure how realistic it is to try and get him. And we already let Ekitike know at the start of the transfer window that he is one of our main targets. But of course, Liverpool asked the question of Liverpool's number 1 unrealistic target, Alexander Isak. Basically, probably Liverpool was still told that Alexander Isak isn't for sale. So now Liverpool very quickly moved on to Hugo Ekitike, and I think it's very smart that we get this deal done early, and then we wait how the dominoes fall in the rest of the window, because Liverpool could still sell Harvey Elliott, Darwin Núñez, Luis Diaz for big money, and then we could still have money to sign Alexander Isak as well. And it was pretty obvious that Liverpool could have pulled the trigger on the Ekitike move any time during the summer. But we have been waiting for Isak to get back from his break, to at least for Liverpool to ask the question, is there any chance that Isak could go to Liverpool? And it would be silly not to ask that question. And as soon as Liverpool got the answer, the first answer from Newcastle was always going to be that they reject our offers. But I think this was the smart move, that first we asked the question of Newcastle and Alexander Isak, is there a chance to get this deal done? And when we got a firm no, at least from Newcastle, then we moved on and signed and we are signing Ekitike right now. And that still leaves the door open for Alexander Isak, but the one thing is Liverpool won't spend 150 million on Alexander Isak. He's not worth that much. That's a ridiculous amount. Even 120 million is a British record and Liverpool club record transfer fee. Many Newcastle fans think that he's worth even more than 150 million. They are just deluded. If Newcastle are really demanding 150 million, then we should sign Ekitike for 75 million pounds. And maybe we can wait for Alexander Isak or Julian Alvarez to be available next summer. And probably Isak and Ekitike both really wanted to play for Liverpool, really wanted to sign for Liverpool, but because there is a big gap in the valuation when it comes to Newcastle's valuation of Isak, if they value him at 150, 160 million and Liverpool value Isak at 120 million, there is no way that we could do a sensible deal. Isak is, of course, right now the better player, but spending so much on one player who has certainly some injury issues, that was maybe too much of a risk for Richard Hughes and Michael Edwards. Ekitike has different risks regarding development and also is not Premier League proven yet, but at half the price, that risk is maybe easier to accept, because if you sign Ekitike for 75 million, it doesn't work out, you can still sell him for 50 million, just like we did, that happened with Darwin Núñez as well. You don't lose out on too much money. But if you sign Alexander Isak for 150 million and he's constantly injured, then you have a massive financial loss. Newcastle now have a player who is unhappy, who will not sign a new deal, so he will leave next season or 2 seasons from now. And Newcastle are still unable to replace Callum Wilson with a player who could one day become as good as Isak, because Johan Wissa is a good player, but he's not in the same talent pool that Ekitike is from. And Isak will still give his best while he's at Newcastle. I think Newcastle are missing out on Ekitike and all the other strikers that they're trying to sign. That is a big blow for them. Ekitike also gives Liverpool more maneuverability in the transfer market, because Liverpool are still looking for at least one centre-back, maybe even 2, and maybe a versatile winger as well. Fofana of Lyon has been linked. Rodrigo of Real Madrid has been linked as well. So if players are sold, then I can see these moves happening. And Liverpool are now shopping at the elite level. Liverpool are dead serious about staying at the top of English football and also conquering Europe under Arne Slot. I'm sure Arne Slot was very disappointed, and Liverpool were very disappointed with going out and at the round of 16 stage against Paris Saint-Germain. Yes, it's an unlucky draw, but still, Liverpool were furious with going out so early, and Liverpool opening the transfer window with signing Florian Wirtz, Mamardashvili, Frimpong, Kerkez. You don't open a window like that unless you mean business. And then when your next move involves getting Alexander Isak or Hugo Ekitike and trying for Rodrigo as well, you are no longer shopping just in the mid-tier level that Liverpool were shopping at previously. You are shopping at Harrods, at the elite level. And this feeling that, Michael Edwards and Richard Hughes are running things at the top very smartly, while Arne Slot is just getting on with managing the players and winning football matches. It's a proper operation. There is no panic, just well-timed, well-targeted ambition by Liverpool. And also selling Núñez, selling Elliott, selling Diaz. That might, if you sell those 3 big players at once, Liverpool fans might have panicked previously. But now, seeing how Liverpool act in the transfer market, it feels like it's part of a bigger project, a bigger plan. And also, it's calculated. If Liverpool pull off signing Isak, Rodrigo and Gay, it becomes the greatest window in probably not just Liverpool history, but Premier League history as well. But even if we don't sign Isak and we just pull off Ekitike, Rodrigo and Marc Gay, that would be the best transfer window in my lifetime, certainly. Liverpool have gone from clever outsiders to heavyweight contenders, both in the Premier League and in Europe. And this feels like a moment where Liverpool started acting like we are the biggest club in England. And if this isn't the new normal for Liverpool going forward, then we are in for one hell of a ride in the next 5 years. So I'm really excited and looking forward to the next chapter in Liverpool's history, because I think these moves, this ambition really signals something really special and a new era at Liverpool. And Hugo Ekitike, it's clear that he wants to join Liverpool. He didn't reject Chelsea, Man United, Newcastle, Arsenal and Tottenham by accident. He has agreed already a contract in principle, and Liverpool are already putting together a package worth more than 80 million euros with bonuses to present to Eintracht Frankfurt. The talks are progressing quickly. So the deal for Hugo Ekitike, according to Fabrizio Romano, could be done at any moment, because Liverpool know and love to move fast. They are accelerating in this deal. So if nothing surprising happens on Newcastle's side of Alexander Isak, then Liverpool are going to sign Hugo Ekitike. That's why I put Hugo Ekitike Welcome to Liverpool as the title of this video, because it's very likely to happen. And Richard Hughes with his strategy was very clear. Let's first try it for Alexander Isak, but Ekitike is not a second choice. He's a player that Liverpool wanted since the beginning of the transfer window. We just waited to try for Alexander Isak. I don't think Liverpool have the money to sign both players in one transfer window. But if we sell Nunez, Diaz and Elliott, then certainly Liverpool could maybe even afford Alexander Isak. But now the most likely scenario is that we will settle on Ekitike, and maybe we will play Florian Wirtz or Chiesa as a false nine in some games, and Liverpool could sign Rodrigo as Luis Diaz's replacement. Liverpool also retain interest in Anthony Gordon if Diaz leaves, but Alex Crook is reporting that Liverpool have already started preliminary talks with Real Madrid over the transfer of Rodrigo. And that's very exciting. And tomorrow's video might be about Rodrigo, and I will break down like where this transfer is heading to, where the latest news or rumors stand, and also how would Rodrigo fit into Liverpool's tactical plans. But Liverpool is signing Hugo Ekitike, and this signing is driven by scouting and data, not just personal preferences. So I think this deal could be for more than 70 million pounds. I think Ekitike is worth it because his link-up play is absolutely brilliant, and he could become as good as Alexander Isak in 1 or 2 years. So you are getting a similar profile of a player for half the price. I think it's worth the risk. Fabrizio Romano reported that Newcastle maintained their position that the door is closed for Alexander Isak to leave. This is why at the moment Isak is not moving from Newcastle. But if Liverpool can't get Isak and nothing surprising happens from Newcastle's side, then Liverpool will sign Hugo Ekitike. So that's the latest news. Let me know your thoughts, and thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this. Have a nice day. See you later, guys. Goodbye.